Well, guys, welcome back. I do apologize for all the technical difficulties. Looks like we've missed 2 kills, and, well, we'll talk about this game as soon as we have a moment, but they are diving light heaven bottom lane. He should be okay for the moment. So this is your Starladder Season 4 winner bracket, round 1, rather, the Grand Finals event. I'm LD, you're watching Beyond the Summit. Of course, this tournament brought to you by Starladder, and I'm joined here today by Fluff and Stuff, who I think had the good fortune to actually be in the lobby and paying attention during the draft. So, Brian, can you bring us up to speed on sort of where we are in the game right now?
Yeah, Navi made a really interesting choice by giving Fnatic Undying Barrier and Magnus. Seems like they wanted to play against it, but I'm not really sure how this is going to work out for them. Puppy also got his Wisp. He's running it a lot recently, almost 100% of the games, as well as Arzad on the Knicks, so they're definitely in their comfort zone right now.
Yeah, and you know, that's actually something that Empire did yesterday, was they also gave away, I mean, not that full combo, but they gave away a lot. They gave away the mag both games, and they got 2-0'd for their trouble. So it's a lot to give away, like you said, and well, as the lanes start to develop, let's try and see how are we doing on farm. Life's still getting free farm, Tiny getting a little bit less, but pretty much being left to his own devices. So, as far as these early lanes look, how do you feel about the trade-offs from Navi? Are they getting enough to justify what they gave away in the draft?
If you look at the levels, Navi's actually ahead on their supports, but the side lanes are pretty even. I think this will favor Navi though, because the later it goes, Quap will do pretty well versus Magnus, even though he's getting pulls in middle. And Puppy's getting really fast levels, actually. They're doing a good job, him and Arzart.
Yeah, and you know, the one thing about this game that's interesting for me is just how highly Navi values Wisp. I think more so than, like, any other European team, outside of maybe Empire, but obviously a lot of the other teams run it and value it highly, but giving away a lot. The Wisp is the one here they did get their hands on, which could have a huge impact in the mid-game, and he's already level 4, only 5 minutes in. That's really good leveling for a support Wisp. They're going to dive on the Trixie top lane. This should be a pretty easy kill, I think. No chance to escape. 3 heroes for that one, but they pick up the kill, and now the tower starts to get pushed a little bit. I guess the one weakness of this tri-lane, they're not really a great pushing tri-lane.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can push with any 3 heroes as long as you have the ability to kill the offlaner. And the real advantage here for Navi is that Light of Heaven stacking the Ancients, so he'll be able to farm back into the game, but Batrider will probably have to just go to the jungle, and right now they're putting a lot of pressure on the tower, so he's really pressured to come defend it.
Unless we see a smoke yank of the Ancients, it's just something that we have seen in the past. Apparently I need to toggle my in-game mic. Hopefully it's just me. But you may want to double check and just make sure yours is on. Oh, it's still not picking it up. I apologize for anyone who's trying to watch a Dota TV. Let me see if I can get that fixed. While I do that, take it away, Brian.
Yeah, if you look at the mid lane, Queen of Pain's actually getting the better CS in this lane, even though that Fly's pulling the level 1 camp. So that just shows that Queen of Pain can actually farm pretty well versus Magnus in the middle. Maybe they anticipated that because they gave away Bat and Mag, and usually you're going to prefer to put your Bat on the off lane when you have both these heroes. So actually mid's pretty going in their favor.
And they get the tower top, as well as it looks like another kill on the Batrider, so they're shutting him down pretty well.
Puppy's level 5 already.
And I still don't have in-game. Enable open mic on. It should work. Yeah, I can see that, BQ. Alright, while we have a pause, I'm going to try and restart my Dota. Hopefully that'll fix the in-game issues. I apologize for everyone who's trying to listen. It would be working if my microphone wasn't on the fritz. One of those days, man. This seems to happen, like, every time I don't cast for a couple days, I come back and it's just absolute chaos. Every possible audio issue you can think of. I could give NASL sound guy a run for his money, I'll tell you. Hello. Hello. Okay, Steam picks up the microphone, so that's good. Let's try one more time. Oh, for anyone, I didn't properly introduce you because we were kind of rushed there at the beginning, but of course, this is Fluff and Stuff, the captain of Team Liquid. By the way, I don't think we've cast together since you joined Team Liquid, so how are you enjoying the transition so far? Are they taking good care of you?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been like a really good reception from them, and especially from the community as well. A lot of support, a lot of hype, but you know, we're still a new team, so we need to practice definitely. But really enjoying all the support from everybody. So thanks.
Well, practice of course starts with getting out of bed, which I just want to call you out right now on stream while we have 3,000 people yelling at me for not having my audio issues sorted out. That you said you'd be happy to wake up today early, bright and early at 6 a.m. your time and cast, and then I had to call you.
You know, Grieveling happened, so
Yeah.
some late nights.
Too Grieveling, too
had to be done.
furious.
Yeah.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Yeah.
No, I'm testing my microphone. It says it's working. Maybe I need to change the device and then go back. Let me try that.
So actually, if you look at the farm, Navi has two really high farmers, and the second highest farmer on Fnatic is Magnus with 22 CS. So he's actually pretty far behind.
So how are we doing as far as the game goes right now? Because I'm actually not in it because I'm trying to fix the microphone. Sorry, guys. We'll get it sorted out.
Light of Heaven has at least 4 stacks on the Ancient, so he's doing pretty well for himself, and it doesn't seem like Fnatic even notices or cares. And Fnatic's just starting to do their push, so they're a little bit behind Navi. Puppy's halfway to level 6, so once that happens, it's going to be really difficult for them to deal with that. And Dendy's winning middle, like, pretty convincingly here. He's 20 CS above Magnus.
Keep on going. I'm coming back as soon as I can.
Fnatic's going for the first push. Actually, on top lane, Trixie dies to Voss and Arzart.
Hello. Oh man, I don't know what's going on with Dota 2. I may just have to skip the in-game mic until next game because I'm really not sure how to fix this. All right, I'm sorry to everybody who's trying to listen to us in-game, but there are a lot of people trying to watch on the live stream as well. So I apologize, but I'll try and get it sorted out after this game. If you want to listen to me or fluff for this game, at least you'll have to watch on the stream. Again, our apologies, but I've tried like 20 different things in Steam and nothing seems to be working. So back into the game we shall go.
Let's see. Really interesting warding by Navi. If you get inside the game, if you look at the mid lane, they have one ward on mid hill, and then they also have another ward right looking at the level 5 camp and the small camp. So it looks like as soon as somebody walks into the wrong position, Puppy's gonna be ready to whisk CP there and get a free kill.
Oh, I love this ward. This is, it's sort of like having a pudge, right? If you're gonna run an aggressive lineup like that, which really requires getting the jump on an isolated hero or hero caught out of position, you need these wards. So that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, and I think this is a mistake by Fnatic not to push the lane on bottom, because when they actually decide to push this tier 1 tower, Navi's going to be ready, fully ready with TP and Wisp TP. I think it's going to be really difficult for them to push this tower now, and all the while, Light of Heaven, look at these stacks, they just keep going.
And this tower is so important strategically. If you're trying to farm the Ancients and you lose your tier 1 bottom, there's so many more ways for the enemy team to gank you to try and find openings, especially because they're up against a Bat Rider and a Magnus. These are two heroes that can just go right up the cliff and catch out your team. There's a lot of attack vectors, and especially when that tower's down. You also don't have an easy tower to retreat to, so... I mean, it's not just stacking the Ancients, but it's like you said, having that tower up makes it much easier and safer to farm those.
Yeah. And Havas already has Armlet and Tread, so he's doing really well right now.
73 CS. Hasn't gone for a Midas, just going for like the more aggressive mid-game build, which, he got free farm, but they do have a Wisp, so I think this is the right choice, but they got to start finding some openings. And one thing I will say about Fnatic, they're not getting caught out. They're playing very defensively. On the flip side, though, I'm guessing they're getting out-farmed and out-leveled, and indeed they are. Already behind by about 3,000 gold, and they've only lost one tower. Navi's only up the one tower so far, and experience-wise, a little bit closer, but still Navi leading. So sure, you're not dying to the Wisp ganks, but you're also getting out-farmed and sort of losing that war of attrition.
Yeah, and generally Undying is considered one of those 5-man heroes, and right now it's been 11 minutes, and he might fall off his peak here as a support hero.
Yeah, Fnatic has run this off-lane on Dying before, and it's just been incredibly successful in the past, but if he doesn't get to do anything, you get to a point in the game where Lifestealer just pops Rage, kills the Tombstone almost instantly, especially with the Wisp and the Beastmaster, and that's one thing we haven't really gotten a chance to discuss yet, is they have Wisp and Beastmaster, so when this gets towards the mid to late game, that Lifestealer is a lot stronger than he normally would be. He's got a lot of extra attack speed, a lot tankier with the Tether, as well as Overload or Overcharge going his way. So this is a scary hero to be going up against late game, and that Tombstone will become useless soon enough. At the same time, they do have Swap, RP, and Lasso, so you can never really count out Fnatic.
Yeah. It almost seems like these imbalanced heroes aren't making their impact quite yet.
Oh, here we go. The relocate coming in middle lane, but it doesn't matter. And now they get a free Tombstone. Farm the zombies! Oh, they're just going to kill it. Those give a lot of experience.
Yeah, and you already see how the combo works here. Arzart's just going to go Vendetta. He's going to look for a kill, and then Puppy can just TP in anybody to assist for an easy gank.
And once they find that one kill, you know, I talked about how they didn't really have the best pushing tri-lane, but you made the point, hey, anybody can push as long as there's nobody to defend the tower. And, well, they get the kill. They harass the mag down low. They're not even getting that many kills, but it's really just a map control style play for Na'Vi. Outfarming their opponents, pressuring them. The only hero who's having a good time right now is Tiny, but it's costing his team quite a bit to give him that good time. They've had 3 heroes bottom most of the game. He's level 9 now. And Tiny is a devastating late game here, especially with all the support he'll have. He'll have the Venge giving the Vengeance Art. In fact, is maxing it first, as well as Empower later on. So he's got some backup. He's got definitely the late game potential himself, but you got to get there. And it looks like, I mean, potentially a BKB rush from him. I suppose it could be the Aghanims, but either way, he's got a way to go before he farms those items up.
Yeah, I think it'd be a mistake to farm up the BKB first, because the Ags just increases the efficiency and the power of this hero by so much, and I mean, he's definitely going to need it versus lineup, but I don't think he should get it first.
Yeah, I mean, there's still, of course, there's still Roar, there's still Lifesteal, who really doesn't care that you have a BKB too much, just the auto attack's still going to hit really hard, even if you can't be slowed. So I agree, I don't think it's anything to rush, but he, like you said, he'll need it at some point, so we settle into kind of a more passive stage of this game. You mentioned the wards mid. They still have those up near the small camp. I also want to point out the lane ward towards the top lane. Even the Ancients are being covered. And that's something Tiny can farm, especially once he has Empower and once he's got that Ags. He can clean Ancient stacks really quickly. Oh, middle lane. Dendi diving, catches out the mag. Wants to go... Nope, he's going to back off. So gets a free kill and gets away. And when Dendi finds solo kills like this, that really opens things up.
Yeah, and he's 900 gold away from his BKB as well, so it's pretty fast. And he finds a DD rune here.
Yeah, and he's almost got a BKB of his own. And sure, they've got Lasso, they've got Reverse Polarity, but you really want to use those on the Lifestealer, who's getting pretty scary. He's almost got a Desolator up. If you're forced to waste either of those on Dendi, that's going to be big trouble. Yeah, let me repeat that. He's almost got a Desolator up.
14-minute Deso, Armlet Treads. And you already see, like, look at bottom lane. You see how they have to put an Obs Ward and a Sentry Ward for this Nyx, the support Nyx. So not only do they have to worry about Wisp TPs, but they have to worry about the support Nyx.
They got to worry about this too. RP on 3, but is it going to be enough? The Tombstone gets dropped as well. Now pushing the heroes back into the Firefly. Arsart might drop. In fact, it's looking like a great counter-initiate from Fnatic. They get everyone except for the Wisp, who barely relocates back in time. It did cost them 4 TPs to do that, but hey, they get a couple kills, and now maybe look to push a tier 1. In the meantime, Na'Vi just going to take this time to farm the Ancients, and maybe push those other lanes. But wow, what a fight.
It looked like Puppy was almost able to bring him out of the fight, Havas, but just 1 second earlier.
Yeah, tried to relocate him with the tether, but he just died a little bit too fast.
That was a really good response by Fnatic, and they kind of need to do this, but Na'Vi responds with pushing bottom lane, and there's not really any way they're going to stop this, so it's actually going to be a decent trade. They're still finding the trades here, even though that they lost 2 heroes on top lane.
It was a pretty... It looked like a horrible engagement for Na'Vi, but even so, like you said, they're trading a tier 1. That's really not that bad. Dendi still very close to that BKB. In fact, is it on the way? It is. BKB complete on Dendi after that bad engagement top. And the Desolator probably about to come out. Oh, Havos set back a tiny bit, but he'll have it soon. It's still looking like an 18, 20-minute death zone. The other thing about this that's really nice is you can Roshan super quickly, especially once you have a couple points of Inner Beast if they get a medallion. They don't even need it, though. And being on the dire side, they're already going to have that advantage.
I think Fnatic's going to have to be really paranoid about...
Relocate top. Oh, they want Trixie. Can't find him, though.
Magnus actually picks up the blink now, so they're going to have that utility. It's going to be really good for them in their team fights. And let's see, do we know what Tiny's going? He's actually going the Ags. You see he picked up all 3 items on the courier flying to him now.
Yeah, it would have been very odd to see the BKB. The only reason I brought it up is there's a lot of ways to lock him down and kite him in fights. But like you said, it's just... He's really not the same hero until he gets the Ags. He's not scary. Now that he has it, he is very scary. They're going to have to be careful about that. And just Na'Vi...
Batrider's off. Batrider doesn't have his blink anytime soon. He has 60 gold.
Well, he kind of needs these items, right? Otherwise, he just dies instantly to the tether, the chain stun, and the burst damage. But even with these, I feel he's still dying very quickly at that lifestealer.
Let's see. Looks like the 5-man push on bottom. How will Na'Vi respond? Looks like Denny's rotating bottom. They want to take this fight, potentially with the BKB.
Well, Fnatic does have RP up. It's only level 1, but it's still RP, which is pretty much awesome at all levels. This is good. Nope, tower falls. Do they keep on pushing? I feel like Fnatic is a bit better off counter-initiating, but hey, they don't want to get Wisp ganked. This is one way to avoid it, just 5-man Dota. Let's see if it works. And apparently it does work. Na'Vi rotates a few in, but when Fnatic groups up as 5 and then back off like that, that's going to pull Na'Vi a bit ahead. They're getting more experience, they're getting more gold during that time. Sure, they give up a tier 1 bottom, but they already farmed the ancient stack quite a bit. What are we seeing for our Beastmaster? Level 8, so... And going for an Ags, and I love this choice. The best way to disrupt that big team fight is find some pickoffs. They've already got the... You talked about the Nyx being able to scout things out. They've already have the Wisp Nyx, or Wisp plus anyone, really, combo. And now they're going to have an Ags Beastmaster soon enough. They begin the Roshan attempt, but this is a dangerous place to fight up against Mag. No blink on that Batrider, like you mentioned. And it looks like, well, the posturing begins. The fight, not yet.
I love how Trixie's being so aggressive here. He's just, he's just fireflying directly up into the pit. That's actually a dangerous position, but he can get away with it, I guess. And if you look at Puppy's CS, he actually has 52 CS on a support hero and a mech.
Wow.
That's a lot. He's gonna do an insane amount of healing.
And mech on Wisp is just absolutely ridiculous, because you can actually double heal whoever you're tethered to, which is just so powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Let's see if they go for this. It's still so hard to fight around this pit. What doesn't matter how many items your lifestealer has. If he gets caught in an RP and he's not raged, he's pretty much dead instantly. And even if he's not, there's always Lasso to worry about. So Na'Vi really trying to force the issue at Roshan. And then backing off as soon as they see Fnatic group up, but they are getting a little bit more farm. Like, we see Dandy rotate towards the bottom lane, start pushing that out. We saw them farming the Ancients earlier, and this is, well, it's something, I think it was NS in an article a while ago who talked about how those Ancients just give the Dire a bit of a farming edge when Roshan skirmishes happen, but here comes the push mid. Then comes Lifesteal, they're going to initiate on Era. He gets roared to start this off. Where's that RP? They're waiting for the right moment. Now the Lasso onto Arsart, but do you really want to focus? The Nixus has an RP, catches 3, but where's the follow-up? There it is. Eric comes in. 2 swipes. Wow, look at that Tiny go. Well, this is why they wanted the 5-man. RP, a pretty good spell.
Yeah, it's the power of Undying, Magnus, Tiny, and Batrider. Wow. Really great swap from Fly here, saving the life of Tiny. After they blew so many resources on him, they blew the Quap ulti, they blew BM ulti, and Nake's Rage, and as well as Open Wounds, and didn't get the kill.
I really thought he was dead. I mean, he got roared in a bad spot there, too. Just caught out of position, and then turned out to be fine. Like you said, thanks to a great clutch swap, and this is one of the reasons why Venge is such a strong late game here. Not only can you find those pickoffs for your team, but you can also save your carry. If he's not in a good position, what a bait. And it set up a 3-man reverse polarity, plus the Tiny Avalanche Toss Cleave combo, and that was all she wrote for Na'Vi. But RP is on cooldown now, and Na'Vi, perhaps knowing this, are going to try and go for Roche again. I say it's on cooldown, only for 60 seconds or so, so not even that long.
It's enough.
It should be. So they lose a fight that didn't look really that great for them, but they should be able to take this Rosh. I think Tombstone gets dropped, but not really a good position for that. It will fall. Out comes that hideous Greevil beast of a Roshan. Oh, they're going to initiate the fight. Havos comes in. They get no-tail right away. No heal spam, no decay spam for you. Havos now going to be pulled up onto the high ground, locked away from the rest of his team. Or maybe it's Trixie who's screwed. Here comes the tether. The Firefly will clear out the way, and now they march forward. They want Hani. They want this Magnus. He's going to try to get out of here, but even if they escape, the damage is done. Buyback from the Batrider. TP apparently couldn't afford one. Team didn't buy him one. That might buy enough time for Na'Vi to finish this Rosh. It's at half HP, but with that Rage, with that Desolator, it should drop very quickly. Are they going to try and fight this? They do have RP. This could be a huge fight for Fnatic. Are they going to find the opening? Doesn't look like it. Not for the moment. Just both teams eyeing each other from across the ravine while Lifestealer farms Rosh.
He's got it.
Oh, he got it easily, and now they're going to initiate on Era, the Queen of Pain ult there, just to discourage him from coming back into the fight. RP catches out too, but Puppey keeping Havost alive with the double mech heal, it looks like. Yes, he does. Era now gets roared. Can they bring him down? A defensive swap, but this one not nearly far enough. Tossed backwards. Havost trying to keep this angry zombie off of your team, but they just can't do it. They keep on coming. Na'Vi, have they ever not looked good at Starladder? Today, after so many bad performances, well, subpar for Na'Vi coming into this match, they just crushed their way through Fnatic. Now going to be dominating streaks for Havost and Dendy. They get the Rosh, and now they look to push the advantage. Actually, fight not done yet. Did Era buy back for this?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, no. And he's probably going to die again. I don't see how he can find this kill. He's just going to get kited and brought down.
Oh wow, really great fight for Na'Vi.
These guys are the kings of Starladder, man. I mean, it's like sacred ground for them. Doesn't matter how bad they're performing in other leagues. Compared to what you expect out of Na'Vi, they still put on quite a show in these events. And giveaway Mag, giveaway Batrider, giveaway Undying. It's what we saw for them at the International, right? Giveaway Naga, giveaway the big Darkseer Black Hole combo, and then, or not Black Hole, but the Darkseer Naga combo, and then show everyone how to counter it. They're trying to do it here versus Mag Batrider. Game's not over yet, though. We've seen that late game Tiny can turn things around.
Yeah, definitely. It's only going to take one or two cleaves coupled with the RP and the Empower. We'll have to see if they can get this combo off, but it looks like Navi's been getting caught by these RPs. Like, Hani's been doing a really great job finding the right targets. You actually saw him push a Voss right into 5 of their heroes, so he would respawn from the Aegis right in the middle of everybody. And it looked really good for him, but Na'Vi kind of found the positioning there to take the fight afterwards.
Yeah, having the Aegis definitely helped, but I also just feel like it's Na'Vi in that fight just got a slight jump on Fnatic, and, you know, finding those pickoffs, like, not just blindly going for the Rosh, but whenever somebody got a little bit out of position, finding a kill and then forcing buybacks, even if heroes rejoin the fight, they're not doing so in the really kind of organized way you want. When you're Fnatic, you would love for a very orderly 5-on-5, you know, like Revolutionary War-esque kind of fight. Like, we'll line up with our muskets over here, you line up over there, then we'll both march towards each other. That's what Fnatic wants, but Na'Vi not really giving them that too many fights like that so far.
Havas already has a heart. This is like one of the most farmed Nyxes I've ever seen in my life.
You say that again, because
Lifestealers. This is one of the most farmed lifestealers ever.
He's got a heart. Look at his net worth, and this is without a Midas. I think we've seen a lot of lifestealers who rush Midas, who sometimes even have track gold, who don't get this farm. He's 7-1-5, and sure, Havost is playing great, but you got to credit Puppey for finding those openings for him, as well as just, you know, selecting the lanes that would work. They got the early tower, they got the early kills on Bat. So it's been a team effort the whole way, but yeah, I don't know how you deal with this guy right now. You're Tiny sitting on plate mail and eggs. That is not going to outcarry you. In fact, he doesn't even care about the Tiny's burst damage anymore.
Well, honestly, if Eric can farm with the Daedalus on the Tiny, he actually can cleave him down, which is kind of amazing. But yeah, with the RP and the Empower, it's a lot of damage.
I mean, I still think Fnatic can win this game. I'm not trying to count them out of it. It's just... Na'Vi just, if they don't give them too much space, where's Fnatic going to farm those items? You're up against a Wisp, you're up against a Nyxus S, you can't just go farm in the lanes or you'll get ganked, you'll get picked off, and if your team's farming behind you, then they're not getting farm. And Tiny's strong, but like you said, he really needs that RP to set him up. It's going to be tough. Already up to another 2,200 gold. Havos, I wish this hero would just get massively bigger. Like, you remember when Undying first came out, he was bugged, and he was just like a skyscraper? I want to see a skyscraper Nakes this game. So what do you do right now, Fluff? If you're Fnatic, do you just turtle, kind of hope for that big team fight?
Yeah, Era has to find this farm, and his team has to let him find it as well. They need to support him, but I mean, they did a good job. Honey has a gem. They can clear out the wards for Era to give him some space, but all in all, they really have to protect him. These ganks can come from any moment, and it seems like they're on top of that. Fly and No Tail sitting closely behind Era, but honestly, what can they do when Nakes rages?
They can lasso him and they can RP him, but that's one thing. Killing him is quite another matter when he's got the permanently activated armlet. This is the really nice thing about Heart as well, is you never have to turn that armlet off. And he's sitting on 3.1k HP. He has plenty of armor. The Assault Caress is coming soon. I mean, they could stun him, but how do they kill him? It's gonna take a while to get that farm.
Dendi with MKB.
Wait, I'm like, wait, you're calling out all these item pickups that we normally see at like the 35-minute mark, and they go on the middle lane. Trixie, 3 hits really from the lifesteal. Down he goes, just slashing away at him. Now Hani gonna blink and skewer backwards. You ain't catching that mag, but do you need to catch him when you could just barrel down mid? They actually have a ward top. They wanted to catch the retreating Undying, but he will TP away to safety. In fact, they relocated, thinking that he might head up the lane. But he's not there. Oh boy. This is brutal. Even when Fnatic aren't dying, they're just running for their lives. And Navi is farming their jungle. Navi, you mentioned the wards in the early game. They've kept it up. They've got great aggressive wards now. They also have another asset which, you know, we haven't really seen too much of this game, but now it comes into play more. That Beastmaster Hawk. Look at Light of Heaven, very active with it. Constantly scouting out Fnatic's position. Well, until it finds Era, and then he clubs it out of the sky.
Yeah, I wonder what Navi's waiting for. Maybe they're just respecting the Magnus and the Batrider and the Tiny combo. But they have a significant lead right now, and Roshan's not going to be up for a little bit, so they're just pacing this really well, I guess. I mean, really conservatively. I mean, they could probably, you know, go for a push, but yeah.
I feel like they might be waiting for the next Aegis, because if they wanted to go, they've had their opportunities, especially after getting that kill mid. Instead, they tried to get a second kill. Just really afraid of the team fight, and something that we should check with Fnatic is buybacks. Because if they have a buyback into a big reverse polarity, that could turn the fight against Na'Vi. And, well, Era working towards the Assault Cuirass. A good choice when you're up against Lifestealer. Feast, of course, does physical damage, so armor will help reduce that, and it's always a good item on Tiny anyway, but I mean, he needs a lot more than that. I feel like he's got to get the Daedalus after that, even to think about having enough burst damage to deal with Lifestealer. Speaking of Lifestealer, Assault Cuirass of his own, coming soon.
Yeah, so it's actually just going to counteract him, but I think Era should get a Crystallis. It's really cost effective, and it scales with the damage from Empower and just how high Tiny's base damage is initially. I think it would be a lot better for them in the team fights to have this crit.
I mean, they need that burst damage, right? Because if you reverse polarity the Nakes and you don't kill him, and you don't kill him during the lasso, your team's dead. That guy, if this Lifestealer doesn't die instantly, he's gonna toggle Armlet. His team's gonna start stunning you. He's gonna rage, and he can even infest inside a creep. And all of a sudden, he's up to 1,000, 2,000 health again. They need burst. It's something which Tiny can provide in the early game with nukes, but now it's got to come from physical damage, and will he find those items in time? Will it matter? Because there is still a Queen of Pain. We've been talking a lot about just the Lifestealer versus Tiny as a matchup, and you know who can do more damage, who can sort of carry their teams in these fights. But like you mentioned earlier, there's a Queen of Pain with an MKB. It's not a single carry lineup the way Na'Vi are playing it, and I really like that because you're up against reverse polarity. Queen of Pain's gonna have a much easier time not getting caught than a hero like Lifestealer, and this gives them some insurance in the upcoming team fights.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't always rely on your melee DPS to do anything when you're versus so many abilities that go through BKB. I mean, they have so many positional abilities. What if he gets lassoed, pulled back, skewered into the fountain, swapped. There's so many ways that Havas can get caught out of position, so it's probably a wise idea to wait for the Aegis to just eliminate all these opportunities for Fnatic to do some like cute plays in the base.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And about what can Fnatic do? Well, this is the one thing we expected, which is just basically sit behind Era, hope that Na'Vi tries to relocate in on that. But Na'Vi's not stupid. When they see 4 heroes missing, and they see Tiny aggressively farming one lane by himself, they pretty much know the team's there. And it's just more wasted time for Fnatic, who continue to fall behind when it comes to gold. Wow, look at that gold graph. Already down over 20k gold. Experience even more painful to look at, really, behind 25k. What are we looking at for levels right now? Because that's a massive experience differential. Even the Wisp is sitting at level 13, above 3 heroes on the side of Fnatic. And, I mean, that's... Wisp is a hero that can really get under-leveled if she doesn't have a good start. But this is what happens when she doesn't.
Yeah, this is really brutal from Na'Vi. They just... I don't know. That's a really big lead. And Roshan is just gonna melt here.
Yeah, this is salt, vinegar, and some other evil things in the wound all at once, and now a free Aegis. As though Na'Vi needed it. Now they have it. I assume Lifestone's got his Assault Cuirass by now. Oh, by the way, Sanj up on Puppey. He'll be going for Evasion soon, possibly. Or maybe just a casual Sanj. It is very cost-effective HP. And so he's getting tanky as well. And that's something to talk about late game is you really want to kill the Wisp first, but this Wisp is not going to be an easy kill.
Yeah, you know when you asked me like what can Fnatic do, I would have told you like if they didn't have a Wisp, they could just go for some smoke gank Hail Marys. But honestly, if they go for any team fights, Wisp and Nyx will be just right there. So it's a really difficult position to be in right now.
And the siege begins along those lines. In comes Savos on the bottom lane. I wonder if Na'Vi will group up as 5. I almost feel like maybe a bit of split pushing is the way to go, and they seem to be thinking about it, although now all 5 heroes converge on the bottom lane. Ags is up on Beastmaster. We saw the Hawk early trying to do some scouting. That could be such a huge asset in these fights. Nyx runs around Invis, but he doesn't really do much when the enemy team's sitting up on the high ground. It's going to be all about that Beastmaster Hawk, all about potentially a roar and then maybe the swap to counter it. Where's the initiation going to come from? Both teams just eyeing each other, but nobody committing just yet. Era is starting to hit hard. He's got level 3. Is that level 3 in power up? I believe.
Yeah, level 3.
Yeah, he's starting to get a bit scary. I mean, if Na'Vi screws up and they lose a big fight, which sounds ridiculous when they're up by 25k, but it happens to teams with Mag. So if they screw up a fight, it could go Fnatic's way. But right now, Na'Vi just sieging it out. They're really afraid of this Mag. I mean, I gotta figure that's what it is.
Yeah. You can't ever be too safe with this. I think that maybe Light of Heaven should try to focus this Mag down with the Roar. Get him down, but...
Is that it? Is that all it takes? Is an avalanche to go in and kill? I guess that's what Na'Vi was waiting for. The game-changing avalanche. So the stun comes out, then Havos comes in, picks up one. Buyback from the Bat Rider, but this buyback has to be worth something. Still tethered up to Havos. Now he gets last. Remember, he's got the Aegis. They've got the secondary DPS, and Denny is sitting in the back lines. Roar onto Era. Era will be brought down. Does he have buyback? RP. Oh, only catches Puppey and Wisp and Nyx, rather. Not really the 2 heroes you want. Now Dendy dishing out the big damage, blinking forward, farming the enemy near their found. This is going to be a team wipe, and this is going to be a triple kill for Dendy, a double for Havos, and a very quick GG after a bit of a calm before the storm there. Wow. Brutal.
Yeah, just from the very beginning, it seemed like Fnatic was down, picking Undying and going safe. We'll see how it goes next game.
Of course, it is a best out of 3.
This is a big mind game here. I mean, they got Undying, Mag, and Bat. What more could you ask for? And they didn't actually take this game, or even they got crushed pretty much. So let's see how that affects their drafting game too.
I mean, what what else could you ask for, really? And even Tiny is one of their preferred carries along with the Chaos Knight. So I don't know, man. I mean, I guess maybe you could ask for better lanes. Maybe you don't want to give away the Wisp to Na'Vi. That seems to be something that really works well against the Deathball style, and that's something Fnatic do like to employ. We'll have to find out. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this was game number 1. I'm LD. He's Fluff and Stuff, the captain of Team Liquid. Thanks for joining me, Fluff. Guys, stay tuned. Game 2 of this best out of 3 coming up soon.